Can tiny crystals inside your ear really make the room spin? They've often been called ear rocks. It sounds unbelievable, but for millions of people, that's exactly what's happening. A few microscopic calcium crystals, no bigger than grains of sand, can suddenly move into the wrong part of your inner ear and trick your brain into thinking you're spinning when you're standing perfectly still. Hi, I'm Dr. Walter Salubro, a corrective care chiropractor in Vaughan, Ontario, Canada, advanced trained and certified in chiropractic biophysics. In this video, you'll learn what these so-called ear rocks really are, why they become loose, why rolling over in bed or looking up can suddenly trigger vertigo, and why this common condition called BPPV is one of the most treatable causes of vertigo. Let's start by answering this first question. What exactly is BPPV? BPPV stands for Benign Paroxysmal Positional vertigo, and it's the most common cause of vertigo. Although the name sounds complicated, each word simply describes what's happening. Benign means it's not life-threatening. Paroxysmal means the symptoms come on suddenly in short, recurring episodes. Positional means they're triggered by changes in the position of your head. And vertigo is the false sense of sensation that you or the room is spinning. If you ever rolled over in bed, looked up at a shelf, bent down to tie your shoe, or tipped your head back only to have the room suddenly spin for a few seconds, BPPV could be the reason. Although the spinning can be frightening, BPPV is one of the most treatable causes of vertigo. But to understand why it happens, you first need to understand the tiny structures inside your ear called Otoconia, better known as ear crystals. Despite the nickname, ear crystals aren't actually little rocks. They're tiny calcium carbonate crystals called Otoconia that are a normal part of your inner ear's balance system. Thousands of these microscopic crystals sit on the top of a gel-like membrane inside the two structures in your inner ear called utricle and saccule. Their job is to help your brain detect gravity and straight line movements, like leaning forward, riding in an elevator, or accelerating in a car. When these crystals stay where they belong, they help keep your balance system working normally. The problem isn't that you have ear crystals, everyone has them. The problem begins when some of these crystals break loose and move into a part of the inner ear where they never are meant to be. And that's when you can start sending false balance signals to your brain and trigger the spinning sensation known as vertigo. Your inner ear contains three tiny fluid-filled loops called semicircular canals. Their job is to detect when your head rotates, helping you keep your balance and your eyes focused when you move. Now, these canals contain fluid, which is normal. But when loose ear crystals drift into one of those canals, they interfere with this delicate balance system. As you roll over in bed, look up, or bend forward, gravity causes these crystals to move through that fluid. This creates a false signal that tells your brain your head is still turning, even though it already stopped. At the same time, your eyes and muscles are telling your brain that you're perfectly still. These mixed messages, it's like a mismatch of information, creates that sudden spinning sensation known as vertigo. And it's horrible, and sometimes it's violent, and it's really hard to live with. Now, if that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Many people with BPPV actually live a normal life and feel normal until their head moves in a certain way. And then without warning, it feels like the room is spinning around them that quick. The spinning usually lasts less than a minute because the crystals eventually settle. But the problem is they don't return to where they belong. They stay in the canal, ready to trigger another episode the next time you move your head in that direction. And that's what makes living with vertigo very, very challenging. Now, the good news is that recurring episodes don't necessarily mean you have vertigo forever. In most cases, the crystals can be guided back where they belong with the right treatment. Diagnosing BPPV usually begins with listening to your symptoms. If your vertigo happens when you roll over in bed, look up, bend down, or change the position of your head, BPPV becomes a strong possibility. Your healthcare provider can then perform a simple positional test called the Dix-Hallpike test. By carefully guiding your head into specific positions, they can often trigger the symptom for a few seconds while watching for rapid involuntary eye movements called nystagmus. These eye movements help to confirm that the loose ear crystals are causing the vertigo and even identify which ear is affected. If you've been experiencing brief episodes of vertigo when you roll over in bed, look up, or bend down, loose crystals could be the reason. Now, the encouraging news is this. BPPV is highly treatable, and many people find significant relief once those crystals are guided back to where they belong. Now, if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who struggles with vertigo. It can really make a difference for them. If you have questions or would like to share your experience with BPPV, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. I do read every comment, and I'll do my best to answer them. Now, in the next video, I'm going to walk you through the Epley maneuver step by step so you can understand how this maneuver works and when it's appropriate to use and how it can be used at home to treat vertigo. Now, that video will be right over here, so go watch how to do the Epley maneuver right here.